Following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives. I'm Debbie, your certified holistic health coach. I revitalize people's lives by helping them identify the root causes of their health and mindset issues and create a custom, natural, holistic strategy to address them in the areas of mind, body, and soul. As a health coach, I'm not allowed to say that I heal, treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any diseases. I can certainly make your body more efficient by reducing symptoms. You'll feel better, be more productive, and enjoy life so much more. Not many people have released 70 pounds, had a health and mindset transformation, and kept fit and trim for over a decade. I have, and I have staying power. And it's been over 12 years. I even became a half marathon runner at the age of 51 when I never ran from childhood to adulthood due to foot pain. And I have done 9 half marathons so far. Mindset is a key to lasting change. As a certified holistic health coach, I do revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. I guide them to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality essential nutrients. My coaching is for optimizing health, whatever is needed, releasing weight efficiently when needed, and enhancing your mindset. With my clients, I help them recognize that their thoughts, feelings, and emotions drive their actions and results, sometimes good, sometimes bad. That's why it's crucial to have a positive mindset in life. It's also imperative to manage and release those low vibrational emotions, such as fear, frustration, and doubt, because all that's going to do is slow you down and get you stuck, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Like a hot air balloon that has ballasts, I help my clients release those emotional ballasts and baggage so they can uplift to a better, happier, healthier life. In turn, they are releasing their stress. They're getting healthier, and they're reshaping their core beliefs. You will see and feel the differences with my coaching programs. Ask me about them. Set up a complimentary consultation at Debi Changes Lives. That's DebiChangesLives, as in Victory ES.com/Linktree, or use that QR code. And I will guide you to a better, happier, healthier life with custom, natural, unique solutions to you in the areas of mind, body, and soul. Today, I'm honored to have Lisa Andria, a second life architect from Ladies Who Leap Coaching. Lisa is a podcast host, speaker, and a coach, and has done 70 episodes so far. After spending 41 years in corporate America, Lisa has discovered something most people don't ever talk about: how many of us spend our lives performing roles defined by society, family, and culture, without even building a true identity for ourselves. After retiring in 2022, she made it her mission to help others to stop performing and start living authentically. Through her signature program, Identity Bloom Method, and her podcast, Ladies Who Leap, Lisa shares stories of courage, reinvention, and to help people cultivate clarity, as well as confidence, self-love, and a life that she finally feels like it's their own. You can learn more about her work at ladieswholeap.com. So today we'll be discussing coming home to ourselves. So let's welcome Lisa Andria, the second life architect from Ladies Who Leap Coaching, and she's a podcast guest as well as a speaker and, of course, a coach, and so much more. So let's welcome Lisa Andria to my show.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi. So I'm so glad you can make it today.
It's really nice to be here. I love the work that you're doing, and I love the podcast. So this is fun.
Yeah, it is going to be fun. So let's start off. Now, what was the catalyst for you to be finding your own identity and doing this work?
Well, I spent my whole life when I was a kid, I was picked on. I had the thick glasses. I was that nerdy kid that you see in those movies, right? I was that person, and it continued. It really had a stamp on my person, my unconscious mind, and it really put an imprint in my unconscious mind. So over time, it turned into me being a people pleaser and what I call a shapeshifter, somebody who really tried to change myself to be who other people would like or love. And that's not the way to live. And it literally took me until my late 50s to realize I don't know who I am. I need to find myself, and I need to actually love myself no matter what my imperfections are, because that's the way to find my true identity and to be authentic without having to worry about it.
Okay. Why don't you get not so on top of your mic right now, because you're kind of vibrating a little
Okay,
bit.
is that it? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you see what my engineer wrote, but I at least want to let you know that. But that was a wonderful answer. Because we do get picked on as kids, and it really embeds in our, in our souls early on, as early as 5 or 7 years old.
Yes, it's
And
all.
we need to let go, because that little Debbie, that little Lisa, is not who we are now.
Yeah.
And we need to live our authentic life. So, I love what you just said. And a lot of people need to, explore that and find out what happened with them when they're younger, and let go of these angsts that we've had. Because it doesn't matter if you wear glasses. It doesn't really matter what type of person you are, or were, because in all reality, everyone is a unique soul, and they all have special gifts,
Yeah. Now that's come with time for me to understand that. And that's why I love helping women that were much younger than the time it took for me to understand all of this. Because society puts us into roles, right? We're the mother, we're the daughter, we're the whatever, the employee, the boss. And we're all of these things, but yet we don't know what our true identity is. So my whole thing is helping women find who they are and accepting themselves, giving them permission to do what they want in life, and not being ashamed or place any judgment on themselves. And with that, then become someone who is truly authentic and is very comfortable and calm about being authentic. Hey, it took me a long time to realize if somebody doesn't like me, that's not my problem. Everybody isn't going to like me. And I can do something wrong one day and do something great the next day, and I'm still the same unique soul.
Exactly. And, that's why self-love is so important. Don't you agree?
That is the number one thing. When I work with clients, because I call it all of that baggage that you're carrying around your whole life is the bag of rocks. And one of the unique things I do is I'm NLP master practitioner. So I am neuro-linguistic programming, which is working with your unconscious mind. And I do this timeline therapy to release all of those events that are causing you to have those negative limiting beliefs, and also causing you, I found with all of the clients that I've had, even men that I've worked with also, 99% of them don't love themselves unconditionally. And that is a true root cause of why they're having issues with all of the things in their life that they're struggling with not accepting themselves, and feeling like shame and anxiety and fears, all of that. A lot of it, most of it, comes down to the fact that you don't accept and love yourself and trust yourself.
Very true, because I think a lot of people, when it comes to fear or lack of self-worth, and self-love, they think they need to be perfect, and they don't. Sometimes that imperfection will find some shooting star that actually is the thing that they need, either for an idea or for a promotion or whatever what's going on. Because our lesser talents, I'll call it, because it's not, they can actually bloom, like, and be that special thing that'll make them stand out in the crowd.
Yeah. And if you have a missed opportunity, like you don't get that one job that you thought, or you don't get to rent that place that you want to live in, it's because there's something better out there for you. And thinking about that the universe has a fantastic plan for you, that a missed expectation is actually an opportunity gained. And thinking about even mistakes that you make, they're all lessons. If you made a mistake, first of all, understand, okay, what did I do? How is that going to help me going forward? Just changing that whole mindset about making a mistake, letting it be the way it is and learning from it is so important. It really is. Yeah.
It very much is, because that's how I'm a person that's on that growth pattern. And even though some people call it fail forward, I don't even call it that. It's just a learning moment. Okay, this didn't work out. What can I do better?
Yeah.
And move forward and try different things. We're kind of like, science experiment. We're doing these little science experiments. We're the scientists, and we're going to find out which is going to work best for us.
Well, think about the super successful people. Do you think they didn't make any mistakes? I mean, the big people that have these huge companies or wrote amazing books for people, of course they made mistakes and they learned from them, because like you said, nobody's perfect. And the mistakes are there for a reason and for you to learn something, and you can carry it forward and make your life even better or help more people.
Exactly. Because, if we didn't make these mistakes, sometimes these mistakes end up being the best thing ever. I mean, I think Einstein or Benjamin Franklin failed, hundreds of times before he finally got the idea that electricity is going to happen, right? But it was like, okay, that didn't work. What do I do now? That didn't work. What am I going to do now? That didn't work. What am I going to do now? But we wouldn't have electricity today unless he didn't give up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly right. And that's why a lot of the methods that people use to help you become successful is modeled after successful people and all the mistakes they made. It's built into the modeling of becoming successful yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. And since we're talking about models or methods, what is your identity bloom method? You want to explain that for us?
Yeah. While every client I work with is very individualized, I have a method where I do 4 steps. The first one is awaken, and it is literally going through and understanding and awakening yourself to when you have the negative thoughts. What are they about? What is it in your lifetime that you're aware of, usually before you're 7 years of age, or even generational stuff, trauma that's come up, and having that discussion about your awareness, because without awareness, you cannot move forward with the transformation. So it's really opening up and me learning all about that person and giving them a safe space to be able to share. That's the first step.
That's a wonderful first step, because people don't pay attention to what's going on with them, and they need to be aware in order to improve.
Yeah.
So I love that first step.
Yeah, I use this ontological coaching assessment tool called the Being Profile out of Australia. And it gives me a reading of 31 aspects of being on a healthy and unhealthy score. And so it opens up what areas are their strengths or their shadows. And that really brings their awareness. Usually they have an aha moment where they go, oh, that's right, I didn't realize that. So that I'm starting now to get them to open up and be aware of what is going on in their own head and their own desires and their own dreams. Giving them, usually a woman needs permission to actually work on themselves and talk about themselves and think about their life. So it gets them open to that. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, because I use metaphors to help people with aha moments, because it makes them think. But if you're pointing out certain things and they're going, oh, you're right, that's the aha moment. Because a lot of people, I mean, when I was going through my mindset work with other people, I had no idea, what those things are for many, many years. And I tried and tried and tried. And I'm like, okay, I was left alone a lot as a kid. So maybe that's kind of like abandonment, but not really.
Again, This is all happening in your unconscious mind, but yet it's running the show. So whenever you get triggered, whenever you something happens and you kind of have an overwhelming negative emotion where that's kind of a bit much, this is coming from some kind of event that was stored in your unconscious mind, and it can actually be from past lives. It can be from generational type of trauma. It can be from when you're inside your mother's womb, or it's usually before the age of 7, which leads to the second part of the whole process that I have, the identity room method, is unburden. So that's releasing these events and these things that have caused you to carry around this bag of rocks. And that is my mental and emotional release breakthrough session that I do. It is actually based on my training with Dr. Matt James. So I will give him, that is something he's researched and really tweaked for about 25 years. So I use that. It's a good 6 to 8 hour process, I will say, but it is amazing. The person looks completely different from when they started and how they finish once it's all been released. And I elicit values. You know, values are very important. You need to know what your true values are. And I elicit them from their unconscious mind before the release and then after. And they're night and day. Before the release, it's based on fear. It's based on feeling the victim. It's based on something you don't want looking it back. Whereas after the release, it's all looking forward. It's all positive. It's all what you want in your life. And it's based on things like love, like self-love, right? Like hope, happiness, fun, completely night and day. And then at the end of that, we do some forgiveness, Ho'oponopono exercise. We do some grounding. I do a little bit of hypnotherapy just to be able to lock it all in. That way it can stay. And then that rounds up the second part of the process.
Unmuted. And and you know, I help people in that way, in a different way. I make them, realize, what's going on, and help them, accept it and be okay with it, because everybody is not perfect, as I said before. Not everybody has perfect features. Not everybody has perfect memories, and sometimes the subconscious just kind of rolls up and keeps splashing down on them, and so they need to, like you said, be aware, but they also need that once they're aware of something, to learn to stop and not let it get to them, right?
Yeah.
And so they need to pause. And so I pretty much help people when they have a health issue, and they think that why am I so heavy? Now, it could be something that happened in their past, something that somebody says, whatever it could be. But that's in the past. It's gone. It's kind of like a leaf that's in a river that flows away. And I help them, release that as best they can. And that's where my metaphors come in. And they kind of go, oh, okay. But people may not get it right away, but it's a work in progress.
Yeah, and it's difficult because your unconscious mind, one of its prime directives is to protect you.
Yes.
So, and what's interesting is protecting you from those negative thoughts and feelings. It thinks it's helping you by protecting you,
Yes.
and by storing them inside and not letting you release them. When in reality, releasing those negative events and traumas and feelings is actually what's helping you. Because like you said, your mind and body are very, very connected. When you hold on to, let's say, resentment, you can get cancer. When you hold on to things like abandonment or anxiety, you can have a heart attack. I mean, these are physical things that can manifest and can happen specifically because you have those negative emotions. And I know everybody has a different way of doing it. Mine's just called timeline therapy under NLP. And I release those through a specific set of process. It's a little guided meditation also, but it's very specific. I'm specifically talking to your unconscious mind in the language that it understands, convincing it to let it go, let it release.
Exactly. Because if you don't do that, it becomes, your thoughts, feelings, emotions drive your stress. And if you keep on feeding that stress, it's going to create a whole bunch of, layers of inflammation that can cause chronic illnesses, like you said. And it's important to start releasing that so that you can live a more functional life. And then you can be happier that you are living a more functional life. The point of life is not to be suffering. It's supposed to be enjoying. And so why don't you get your mind and body, because I do work as a mind body coach, to be healthier and enjoy your life better, and use these tools that Lisa and I have to get you that way. And it's really important to focus on yourself. You got to take care of yourself first. You're number one priority.
Yeah. And going back to self-love too, we are all energy, right? We are all connected. And when you start with yourself, loving yourself, then you can actually become soul aligned, right? With the universe, with whatever God, whatever you believe. And then you're able to then have that love spill over to other people. And it's so important, especially now when you are filled, or to be in that soul alignment of love, of self-love, so that you can love others. That's a lot of what I embody also in this process, is the fact that finding yourself is the first step to then moving on and helping others. There was you talk about metaphors. I met Lisa Nichols. I was very blessed to have met her. And she said she has this teacup with tea, the teacup in the saucer. And she said, the teacup is yourself, fill it up. And then as it spills over into the saucer is what you can use to help others, right? That whole thing, put your mask on first. But I love that analogy of the teacup and the saucer.
Yeah. And so do I. It's those things help people to really fix things into the minds of what's going on. And, in life, like I said, I release fear, frustration, and doubt, because all it's going to do is, bring you down mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, just like you mentioned. And it's really important that we lift our vibration, because love is the highest form of vibrational energy in our emotions. And fear and frustration, doubt, anger, that's all low. So try to get yourself out of the low vibrational moments, because you're not thinking clearly to begin with, so that you can, get into that hope, which is like the first positive part of it, and then move yourself forward and up. But the idea of vibrational energy is with us, whether you don't understand it or not. But that's how things open up for you and opportunities come your way. And I've experienced that.
Oh, yes. Because then the next step is bloom, right? So your old foundation is cleared. You have now released all those negative things. Now we're going to build something new together. And again, when you're in that love vibration, when you are in a higher dimension of vibration, guess what? The universe brings you what you need, because you are in that state of either fourth or fifth dimension where you're living for yourself, you prioritize yourself, and you're living for society as a whole, for the world, giving out as much as you receive and love yourself, you're able to give it to others. So and you find out what is your soul aligned purpose and passion, and all of this creates that real identity of your authenticity. So this is, I call it the bloom step, right? We were talking about blooming, right? And then in the end, working with me will continue to ground, the grounding step. It's transformation is a lifelong work. It's lifelong work. So you anchor your new identity, you move into everyday life. You might need to set boundaries with people. As you change and grow, it changes relationships with other people in your life, usually for the better, because you're giving an example, let's say, to your kids, your husband, your wife, whatever, your partner. But it also means there are certain people that may be intimidated or a little put off because of the way you're changing. So it's about setting boundaries. And I love to tell my clients, think to yourself, no matter what people ask you, what do I want? What do I want to do? Yeah.
Yeah, they got to understand what they want, and it's okay to want it. Okay. And yes, you need to set up boundaries. And there's ways to set up boundaries that just doesn't insult people. But there's, but when somebody is really, I say very negative and forceful, you got to be stronger and put up your shield. You know what I mean?
And I mean, you can be very, you can be kind in this process, because now you're in a state of self-love and loving others. So as you talk to them, you're going to be kind to ask them, okay, if you're going to be in this particular way or treat me this way, we need to limit our communication. And you're being kind, you're being honest, you're being upfront. I recently did that with a friend. There were some things that I didn't like. It took me a couple weeks to get in the right state of mind. And then when I did, I had a very good conversation. And, she appreciated it. She said, wow, it took a lot of courage to come to me and talk about this very openly. And she appreciated it. And now our friendship is even deeper. Yeah.
So that's wonderful. That's wonderful to hear, because and people are learning a lot from our conversation today. So what is your next step of the bloom? I think there's one more, right? Of your bloom.
It's the ground. The ground is the next step. So I'm there as the person's cheerleader to help them through what it is that whatever their dreams or their goals are, or anything that they kind of stumble or struggle with, especially when, like I said, you change, and that changes the dynamics of relationships with other people, and helping them work through that, how to understand how to communicate with someone in your life that you want in your life, but that you've grown and done your own personal growth. So it's very interesting. All of a sudden your awareness is raised even more. So somebody would have talked to you before you went through this process that I put them through, and you wouldn't have cared. You would have just let it go. You would have let them talk to you, let's say, in a disrespectful way. But now that your awareness is raised and everything is clearer for you, you've released all those negative emotions and those negative thoughts. Now you're understanding this is not appropriate. And there's a good way to tell someone and talk to them about it. Oh, are you muted?
The ground is pretty much the foundation of the whole process. So I love it. Now, what is the example of, you kind of said a few things about some clients you've worked with. What is a client success story that you have?
Well, talking about, because this is really big with you, the mind and body connection. I had a client that had migraine headaches every single day since she was 10 years old. And she was in her 50s, and it was debilitating. And through the initial conversation that I had with her, I realized, okay, this is generational trauma. This goes back quite a bit, and there's a lot to do with what happened in her life. So I knew that I could clear that. Once we went through that breakthrough session, the headaches went away 100% within 2 weeks. And it's been about 3 years, and they've never come back. Now, it doesn't mean she's got struggles in life and things that she needs to work through, but the migraine headaches went away. That is a physical thing that went away when she cleared that negative event and cleared her unconscious mind. It's amazing how powerful it is.
Yeah, it's amazing what emotions and your mental, issues that you have can affect the way you feel, and it releases that stress. You're releasing stress as well.
Exactly.
and the physicality of her migraines too. So that's a wonderful experience that that she had that you helped her with. So bravo.
And that's just a physical thing. I mean, obviously there's clients that have changed their lives from not prioritizing themselves, not even wanting to spend time alone, feeling lonely if they're alone, to now a year later, or months change, but a year later looking back and going, I went on a weekend trip by myself and I enjoyed it. I love it. I love when she said that. I was so proud.
Okay. And that's wonderful to hear that too. Now, your podcast, can you tell us a little bit about your podcast?
It's a labor of love for me. I wanted to be Barbara Walters when I was a little girl, and I really was supposed to be a journalist, but the whole nerdy kid thing, I blossomed when I moved to California after my senior year of high school and had dates for the first time. And so going back to college, I equated that back to being the nerd. So spent 41 years in telecom management. My podcast is called Ladies Who Leap. And it's about the courageous leaps of faith that women take to change their lives, whether it is thrust upon them or it's a decision that they actually make. But it does give you inspiration, and it tells their stories of how they leapt out of their comfort zone and created a life, an amazing life. A lot of them have written books. They're from all over the world. They have amazing jobs or things that they do to help others. I'm just really, I love the fact that it inspires other women. It always ends too with their favorite quote, mantra, or positive affirmation. And so that to me just sums it all up as to what really, how they go about their life and how they give themselves inspiration every day by having that mantra or that positive affirmation that they have, sometimes plastered right up on their wall.
Oh, that's lovely.
Mhm.
So, we both uplift people similarly and also differently because we both have our little tool sets that we use.
Toolkits.
So it's really, great to hear all this stuff from you because a lot of people don't work with mind and body like we do. I'm more in the, learning more about health systems and body systems. And you are, doing a different approach to mindset than I did.
Mhm.
But, if it wasn't for my own health and mindset transformation, I wouldn't be here.
Wow. Yeah. And in my case, I would not be this person who is secure in herself and happy and getting out of the patterns in my life that I've had with bad relationships, even with bad friend relationships. All of that has completely changed by using the tools that I learned to help others. I use them on myself. So
Yes.
mhm.
And sometimes it might be helpful to reach out to somebody to get some help too, because they might. A coach always sees a different perspective. That you may have a stigmata. You have little blinders on, like the horses that don't want to see traffic. And it's nice to have someone go give you an idea. Oh, well, that really is going on, isn't it? And that's what.
And I'm sure you do the same as me. We ask the right questions.
Mhm.
Ask the questions that make them think a little bit differently, maybe reframe it or go, oh, and answering them and feeling safe about really opening up what's going on in their head. I think back, my mom had 3 different kinds of cancers that she suffered for 13 years before she left this world. I really wish I knew about all of this back then when she was suffering. I know that she had a lot of things that she just held inside from her childhood and everything. And I know it wasn't in my path in life to know that at that time, but boy, I really wish I did. So I'm very glad to have gotten to this point to be able to help others.
I feel the exact same way. My mom passed before I started even learning about all this. I was also, 70 pounds overweight. So it was like, obviously I was being stretched in too many directions and I lost myself in weight. But my whole point is, it's like, after my mom passed, it's like, gosh, I really wish I knew all this stuff to help my mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, but it was sad to see her go through what she went through. She went from dementia to Alzheimer's. And she was almost like she was in a glass booth and didn't talk. And she was a multi-language teacher. So that must have been really difficult. I mean, one time she was only talking to me in French, and I kind of looked at her and went, okay. Thank you, Mom.
That was her unconscious mind kind of going back on her timeline to what was most familiar for her. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's my whole point, is like and then she stopped talking. And that's what I call it, a glass phone booth. So if we only knew all the stuff while our loved ones were around, we could have helped them to a certain point, at least make them more comfortable. She declined 9 years with dementia, and then she was in hospice for 7 months.
Wow.
So that was really difficult for everyone. But I know things from me and my husband and my family and everybody else I work with now. So, and I had no idea that my path would divert that way. It just did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm so glad it did, because I'm so much happier. I'm so much, I wouldn't be at the runner that I am today.
I mean, for me, I woke up one morning after a certain amount of years of being married, and I was like, I don't know who I am. I had no idea. I was doing everything that he wanted to do. I'd completely lost any of my interests, and then realized I probably didn't know who I was in the first place. Now I can say that now, but at the time I was like, I don't even know who I am. And it took quite a few years, and eventually getting to the point where I was trained in what I do. And then I realized, oh, I never loved myself. That came to me in my own breakthrough session in my training. My unconscious mind said, I don't love myself. And I was so embarrassed. I whispered, I don't love myself to the person who's sitting there, because I thought, who doesn't love themselves? I'm thinking everybody loves themselves. Why wouldn't you love them yourself? No. Most 50% of the world, and probably more who wouldn't even admit it, really don't feel unconditional love for themselves. And that's a big thing to me now, understanding that that's how I broke through to be happier and more calm and not letting everything on the outside world affect me. Yeah.
Exactly. Because, gosh, I recently read this article of a billionaire who was dying at the age of 56. And he said, money is not everything. Your health is. And that's both mindset and as well as physical health and emotional health.
Yeah.
So it was interesting for him at 56 years old to say that before he passed away.
Yeah.
It's kind of, on a little sad note.
Right.
I know, but you know what? We're going to talk about some good things. So what is your offer for my audience today?
So I have 5 tools to quiet your inner mind, or your inner critic, as I like to say. And it's just some tools that you can use. One of the tools that's not actually in there, that you can write down these 3 words: plug the hose. And whenever you have those negative thoughts in your head, to say it out loud if you're by yourself. If you're with yourself, say it in your head and just scream out, plug the hose. So you can stop that hose of negative thoughts, because a lot of times they keep coming and keep coming. So if you write that down, that's another tool that you can add to these 5 tools. But I will, if you go to that link, I will send those to you in email, and you can use it to help with interrupting the patterns, giving you micro moments of self, reference, and giving you a little bit of room to breathe every day.
That's lovely. And I create a QR code for our studio audience that actually are viewing this on video. Now, for people that are if you are listening to the podcast, you need to go to https://link, link.ladieswholeap.com/5-tools to get this download. And you have something else you want to offer people today too?
I have a free Facebook group called Ladies Who Leap Club, and we meet once a month, and I give all kinds of information. We have a fun hour, and the last one I did was how to be a good podcast guest. There you go. So I knew a lot of people wanted to know, what do I need to do? What kind of microphones do I need to get? All that kind of stuff. So I did that for them, and it's every month it's something different, and it's whatever I feel is top of the moment and can help others. And it's just a free group, and you can share what you do. It's a great community, and it's very inspirational.
Yeah, I saw that briefly. I haven't really delved into it too much. But, of course, you go to facebook.com/groups, Ladies Who Leap Club. So please join her group. Now, Lisa, I love what you've shared today and your offers and everything. Would you like to be a guest again?
I would love to be a guest again. Yes.
Okay. So I would like you to stick around, because we're going to have some time for closing remarks. Okay. Thank you. Now, remember, I do revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. I start off with the gut and mindset, but I do help you with hormones, blood sugar, brain and heart, bone and joint, as well as immunity. I help people that are anxious up to athletes, because I am guiding you to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality essential nutrients. Products that reduce symptoms. You'll feel better, possibly release additional weight. I actually released additional 20 pounds after being in maintenance at 50 pounds, because I was so dead tired, and I changed the way I ate and the supplements. And I released additional 20 pounds, which made it up to 70. And I became a runner. That's my story. Let's find out what your story is. But all this is going to uplift your mood. With my mindset coaching, I help you release your stress, emotions, emotional entanglements, and I'm there while you're reshaping your core beliefs as a sounding board. And honestly, your mindset's going to be enhanced. With my health optimization and weight release, your body's going to be more efficient. That's the mind-body connection that makes your heart and soul sing. Ask me about my program. Set up a complimentary consultation at Debi Changes Lives. DebiChangesLives, as in Victory ES.com/Linktree, LINKTREE, or use that QR code. And when you do that, you get to know me, I get to know you, and I'll guide you to your optimal health. And it begins with 1 or 2 health assessments. The health evaluation is actually complimentary, and you rate your symptoms the last 30 days in 4 categories of health. Some questions are in multiple categories. Answer them all. You'll get a baseline score, and I'll review that with you. Then I create that custom natural holistic strategy that's unique to you, mind, body, and soul, that you want to start off with. And we will, work on this, and your score is going to get better. I also have 2 different body scans. I prefer to do the ZeroLink because I can do it remotely and internationally. I can send it out to, it's been sent out to Australia as well as South Africa. The ZeroLink is a transdermal optical imaging app that I send a link to your phone. You scan your face for 30 seconds, and it's looking directly into your skin for blood flow, for components of energetic, functional, emotional, and different body systems and lifestyles. That emotional one is such a hidden gem because it uses traditional Chinese medicine of an organ being tied to emotion. So anger being tied to the liver. Now, this is not a diagnosis, it's a wellness report, because these biomarkers that you're going to get that hour range are at different levels. It doesn't mean you have anything drastic. It's just they're out of range a little bit. And then you got products and services that bring it back into place. And I do review it because it's quite intensive. The cost of the scan is $75. But if you move forward with a program or a product, you get a $25 credit. If you want more information about this, you go to Debi, DEBI, DebiChangesLives.com/Visera, VISERA, golden voucher. And this site will give you a lot of information. You can always contact me on my consultation and ask me questions as well. And on my consultation, you'll find my programs. And these are just a few. Take Your Body Back is my 12-week weight release mindset coaching program where you'll be utilizing a new version of you for your success. All coaching is done on Zoom. And the first one's always private to you because I am a certified HIPAA health practitioner, and any health evaluation is private to you. So I go over those. I also go over the programs, and there's 3 of them. One of them is a national approach to the GLP-1 with no injections, or what the medical model has. And I go over that. You choose what you want. I give you directions. Then I give you instructions how to create a new version of you that's going to drive you with emotion and passion to achieve your health and weight transformation goals throughout your journey. And that's going to be a vision board, or some people call it an avatar board. Now, the rest of the coaching, whether it's group or private, is the same. We'll be celebrating our wins. We'll be guiding you over gas with health and mindset tips. And I'll be showing you how to use your boards. And of course, I'm going to be answering your questions. Now, if you want more information about Take Your Body Back, you can go to Debi, DEBI, DebiChangesLives.com/Take Your Body Back. All spelled out as one word, and each first letter of each word is capitalized. You can also ask me questions at my consultation site because this has changed quite a bit. Now, if you do it yourself or a wife asks this for you, it's an intermittent fasting program that gets your cells and body humming and in turn boosts your metabolism with rich, dense nutrition and high-quality essential nutrients, and a program of exercises and recipes. If you have any questions about that, you're welcome to contact me and ask me questions. If you need some coaching, you can pay for a 2 or 4-week program to get you started. After that, it's up to you if you want to pay for more coaching. With my mindset enhancement as well as health optimization, those are a little bit more longer-term journeys, and it's more economical to do the long form. But I'll also bring you into the shorter-term idea to create a custom program for you that may save you some time and money. I also am offering NewCom, which I love because it's helped me and my son. with sleep and stress. It's designed to release stress, better sleep, relaxation, mental clarity, focus, recovery, resilience, as well as balance the nervous system overall wellness. It was originally an FDA medical compliant device that helped doctors and dentists do surgeries without anesthesia. Then special ops and military started using it. There's actually a tool on here that will diagnose your stress or tell you what your score is. If they don't pass that stress test, they have to go take rescue again. It's been used by athletes and sports teams and Olympic athletes as well. As for everyday people, from children to adults, I'm offering a 15% discount. That's with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to https://bit.ly/newcom with a capital N, lowercase u, capital C, lowercase ALM, and then lifetime and discount only have capital letters at the beginning. It's all one word, and you're welcome to ask me questions. Finally, learn more about alternative health, services, products, programs, offers, articles, blogs, upcoming shows, events, and promos by subscribing to my newsletter at DebiChangesLives.com. That's DebiChangesLive as in victory es.com/radio TV show, all in lowercase, or use that QR code, and I give you a gift. It's a 30-day health and mindset daily action journal where you can record your gratitude, thoughts, feelings, emotions, as well as water, foods, supplements, and exercise you do on a daily basis. And you can even track your measurements if you need to do that. Then you want to review it on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to see your wins and celebrate them. And find your gaps to work on. If you need help bridging that gap, you contact me coaching. This is a great health and mindset awareness tool. I'm certain that you found this show educational, eye-opening, and enjoyed it. Reach out to me for my services, products, programs, and offers. And reach out to Lisa for her 5 tools to calm the inner mind, as well as join her Facebook group, Ladies Who Leap Club. Do we have some time for Lisa to come back? We have quite a bit of time. So yes, go ahead. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Well, I want people to know that I have this saying, confidence is knowing that nothing you do is going to ruin everything, but doing nothing is going to ruin your confidence. So I want you to remember that. I want women to think, what would their life be like if they don't get a coach, if they don't do something like get help from you, Debbie, or any coach, and a year later, they're in the same place that they are in now. So you can actually ruin your own confidence by not taking that first step. And find a coach that you feel comfortable and safe with. I'm ladieswholeap.com. Everything is on my website. Make a Let's Connect call and we can talk. But just change that mindset to know that you can get out of whatever struggles you have right now. You just need maybe a little bit of help from someone who's trained to actually help you and get you in a better place.
I totally agree. Because in life, obstacles are sent to you for some reason. And sometimes even these experts are like, But once you learn the tools that either I or Lisa can give you, it's going to help you get through that so much easier.
Yeah.
And having a coach to just say, knock, knock, can I have some more help? It's such a great way to get over it a little bit faster.
Yeah. I mean, athletes have coaches.
Yes.
We're here to help you. Yeah.
You're here to help you. And so, reach out to either one of us. Me, I'm Debi Changes Lives. She's ladieswholeap.com. So, you need to live a better life, everybody. You need to be happier. And, sometimes things get you down sometimes. And you just need to learn how to get up out of those little ditches that you may have fallen into. Everything's possible.
Yeah. And it's not shameful to focus on yourself and think about what you want and what you need. You're not being selfish.
No, because you're actually, even if you're in a relationship, it's going to make your relationship so much better. You can be able to communicate better with your family, your children, and they're going to look at you and go, oh, you're fun now, if you weren't. And they're going to be so happy that you did.
Yeah. And they're going to learn how to be happier and how to love themselves through what you're doing to help yourself. Yeah.
And they're going to learn from you too. And
Mhm.
all this stuff is, I kind of like stuff, it's kind of, you know, gems, all these gems that you can learn, you can share with others.
Yeah.
And, you know, inspire others to improve their lives. And like I said, anything is possible. You just set your mind. You got to choose, decide, and do.
And you're never too old to start.
No, you're not. You're not. So thank you, Lisa. I need to close up the show now. So continue to enjoy my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives, where, where your holistic journey begins.